All right, guys, welcome to the FFL Republic Hungry for More call. I got my man Michael Herrmann on with us today. My name is Julius. I'm so excited to have him on. Michael just recently did over 50K in a weekend. This guy's been with Family First Life for less than, I want to say, 4 months. I think this is his third month, if I'm not mistaken. I can't wait for you guys to hear what he's doing, and I'm really excited to learn. So, Michael, thanks for being on today, man.
You got it, dude. It's a pleasure. It's an honor actually to be able to on with your with how fast you guys are growing, man. I'm honored to be on with you guys here and give back a little bit. So,
thanks, man. Well, we're honored to have you on. So, if you can start by just tell us a little bit about how you heard about FFL. What's your experience look like, and we want to get to know you first, and we'll kind of go from there.
Sweet. Yeah. So I think I shot you a text this morning. Yeah. And I said before the first month, before I joined FFL, was previously working in insurance, and doing financial planning, actually a little bit of investments, a little bit of insurance in both. How I found FFL was I actually saw a YouTube video with you and Grady, probably about a month before. I was like, dude, there's no way you can actually get issued life insurance and actually be approved without doing a medical. Because I come from a fully underwritten background, 60 to 90-day sales cycle. I mean, it's all good. It's good business. But I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do long-term. And so I saw that video, kind of saw some other stuff. And then one day I was on TikTok and I saw Family First Life and I was like, okay, like this is crazy. I can literally buy leads wherever I want to go and travel and make tons of money all the while serving people and helping people. And so I typed in Family First Life, search on Instagram. I'm not a big social media guy, but I'm trying to become one because I know it's helpful. So I typed in Family First Life. First post came up was like Easton Patton. I was like, all right, I'm going to click on his profile and call him. Like literally 2 hours later, I was like, dude, I'm in. And so started going through contracting. I already had my license. That's just kind of how I found FFL. And since then it's been about 3.5 months and it's been a lot of fun, dude. It's been a great time. So
that's awesome, dude. So first off, all right, I got to say this. You learned about FFL. You saw a video of Grady and I.
Yep.
And then you joined Easton's team, dude. Come on, bro.
Dude, I know.
I couldn't not say it. I couldn't not.
No, it's all good, dude. It's crazy though, because like I literally saw a video and and then I was like, dude, there's no way. And then I kept seeing things and like on TikTok, I was like, dude, I just got to search this thing and he clicked on Easton's name, called him, and he called me back and we were like that. So
that's funny. Easton's a great dude. I mean, if there was anyone that I'd be paired with outside of Grady and our team, I would definitely want to be paired with Easton. So you're on a money team. You got a great leader. The guy writes a ton, and it's probably why you're writing a ton. You know what I mean? So
trying.
That's cool. That's a cool story, man. Like it's funny because like I don't know what video you saw of me and Grady, but like there's so many videos out there in our old office that it's just like this like small little place that we were working at, and we were just growing, we were grinding, and we were trying to figure it out. So
right.
It's cool how far we've come as a company, actually, more than anything else. But
absolutely.
All right, so you have some experience in the industry.
Yep.
You see the opportunity for having leads. You see about simplified issue. So you were in right away as soon as you kind of saw that, right?
Yep.
And so what does it look like for you? How long have you been here? What's your production been like? Because you got some experience, obviously, so there's probably some things helping you. But what have you learned? What's helped you kind of win here really quick?
Yeah, I would say there's a number of things. And if I'm just going on and you want to stop me, go ahead and stop me. But first and foremost, I would say I'm surrounded by I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to work with Easton and Zach and their team directly. And they've been extremely helpful. If I need anything, reach out to your upline. And if you can't find an upline that's willing to help, then Julius can help point you in the right direction and things like that. So number one, first and foremost, I would say I'm just grateful for the opportunity and having people that I'm surrounded with that really want to see other people succeed. I think that's really important. And so, but I guess how the experience has been, what I would say, my first month in, I think I issued like 43,000 my first month. Spent about 8,000 on leads, but I was like, hey, like, you know what I mean? That's still a pretty good return on your money. Then I would say, so, and I can get into this too.
Can we dive into that real quick? And keep going. So you spent $8,000 on leads. So a lot of people there, this might be their first month. So what leads did you spend? Where'd you spend them? And then let's kind of keep going with that story.
100%, dude. So I'm all over the map as far as leads. I run new mortgage, aged final expense mailers, CRM stuff, dude. I love the CRM stuff. They have discounts. Like you just can't not want to take advantage of those discounts. I will tell you my favorite leads to run, everyone loves a brand new mortgage mailer. But my absolute favorite leads to run, if they're going to be there for the appointment, they know what it's for, is 1 month and 3 month internet leads. Absolute gold.
So, okay, talk to us about that, because I've heard agents not like those, right? Like everyone's got a different opinion, right? So what do you do? Why do you like them? How do you, what do you do that makes it your favorite, I guess, or how do you handle it? Because some people have struggled, right? And
Right.
so we'd love to learn from you, especially on those 1 month and 3 month leads.
Totally. Yeah. So in my opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, nothing's wrong with new and instance at all, but there's a lot of competition in that area, right? People fill out multiple forms. Like we're not the only ones that get these leads, right? And so how do we kind of separate ourselves to the competition? Obviously we have great products, we have great carriers, great relationships and things like that. And we got a lot of people that work their butt off. But I would say the biggest thing for 1 month and 3 months, why I like them the most, and I could go on forever about this, Julius, but the reason why I like them the most is because they're cheap, right? You can pick up 150, 200, 300 of them for under $500, maybe a little more. But there's a discount, it's under 500. But at the end of the day, you're getting yourself at bats, right? And so the reason why I like them the most, though, because they've already been called on. They've already been blown up. I'm like, dude, I don't want to answer the phone. It's another insurance agent. I've gotten 12 calls a day, right? And so I had a lady I just talked to before the weekend. I wrote a good sized policy on her and her husband. One of those his and hers is she's like, yeah, I was getting 12 to 15 calls a day for a month straight. And then it kind of stopped. I wanted insurance, but I didn't want to be harassed, right? And so it was a 3 month internet lead. And I was like, hey, no problem at all. I'm just here to help you, go through that eligibility, make sure you guys at least have that coverage that you guys need here today that you're looking for. And on the phone, what I say to them, I'm very assumptive. I treat it like a new internet lead, even though I know it's aged. I treat it like, hey, I'm the first guy calling you. And it's like, hey, I've been having people call me, or I had something put in place. Hey, no problem at all. I'm just here to review that with you, make sure you're in the right spot. What I've also found is a lot of times those people might have already kept coverage, right? And they're like, hey, someone did over the phone, or hey, I don't know, someone did over the phone, or someone came out and sat with me. I'm like, hey, no problem at all. Again, my name is Michael. I'm just the manager of this county here. They just require me to go out there, review the coverage. If everything's good, hey, you're good. I'm not going to make any changes for you. But what I found the most, and this is the really, really important thing, Johnny Elson Peter on our team kind of set me to this, and it's been game changer as far as language. Hey, hey, I did it over the phone. Hey, no problem. Did someone come, did they go over that information with you in person or over the phone? Just want to make sure I'm clear here. And they're like, oh no, I did it over the phone. I'm like, okay, perfect. Well, just so you know, a lot of times when people are doing this stuff over the phone, it's what's called graded, meaning there's a 2-year waiting period. Is there any reason that you'd be on a high risk plan? Well, no, I mean, I'm healthy. I'm, 65 years old, healthy, maybe a little blood pressure stuff going on here, little diabetic issues, but, other than that, I'm pretty healthy. Well, hey, no problem. So that's actually why they're going to have me come out there, is because in most cases, when people are doing sales over the phone, because they're not verifying your ID, making sure that it's you, all this stuff, they're going to put you on a 2-year graded plan. And if I get there and it's not that, then that's no problem at all. But I just want to make sure you're in the right spot. Dude, I've made probably 10 sales on 3 month internet leads in the last 2 weeks on that. So I was just rambling there, but that's the game changer.
That's money. So let me make sure I heard this right, because I think that's really, really good, dude. So you're doing 2 things. One, you're normalizing it, right? Yep. Like, hey, I get it. You got it on the phone, but you're also for agents not experienced in the industry, many agents don't know that when you're doing over the phone, a lot of stuff is graded, which is 100% true, right? Like I've come across, I can't tell you how many hundreds of policies that I've sat with in a home. Client's like, yeah, I already got it. I look at it. I'm like, how did you get this? She goes on the phone, and 99% of the time it's graded.
Yep.
So you say, okay, great. Did you do this on the phone? Great. A lot of times when you're doing over the phone, it's graded. So you're educating your client. And then is there you're asking a qualifying question, any reason you're on a high risk plan, right? Any medical reason you're on a high risk plan? No. Okay. That's why they have me come out there and verify your coverage. If everything's good, you leave it alone.
Yep.
That's money. So guys, if you're not doing that, like this is what you can do today. You guys are on dialed sessions, whether you're with a team in an office, this is literally gold you can take today, no matter what lead probably. Would you agree, Michael? Whether it's 1 month, 3 month, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
Okay. So take that, learn from it, put that into your business, and you'll start booking extra appointments right now. So thanks for sharing that. All right. So let's keep going. So you're running these mortgage leads. Those are the things you do on the phone. When you get there, is it just pretty much a regular appointment? You don't treat it any different?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about for the mortgage leads or the internet?
I'm sorry, the 1 month, 3 month internets.
Yep, same exact way. I run an appointment the exact same way, and we can kind of get into it if you want to, as far as how the in-home goes. But I don't treat any appointment differently. My mentality going into there, the exact same thing. I say the exact same stuff. So basically, I just walk in, and Julius, if it's okay, if you want me to kind of go down this path, I definitely can. So for me, I walk in, and I'm just saying, hey guys, my name is Michael. I'm the state licensed underwriter here to make sure we get the coverage that in place that you guys are looking for. I'm just kind of the order taker here. I'm here to design the plan to look like anything you want to look like. Like I said, I'm just the order taker, making sure you guys have at least the bare minimum coverage here today that you think, God forbid, something happens overnight. The reason why I say bare minimum is I got that from Easton, because at the end of the day, if they have to think about it, that's fine. It's all good. But at least we have to do the bare minimum, and I'm downselling them right there. I'm downselling the entire appointment. And I'm setting the expectation that, hey, I'm here to put coverage in place. If all you can afford is, a $40 a month policy, then I'm good with that. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me. I am just here to serve you and make sure you guys have the coverage that you need. We can always increase later on. At the end of the day, again, the insurance company has to approve you. But first and foremost, I tell people too, is a couple different things. Number one, the coverage has to make sense. You have to understand it fully, feel comfortable, know what you're trying to accomplish with it. Okay, got it. So that's number one. Number two, I want to make sure you guys feel comfortable with the budget, making sure it makes sense every single month. Again, I downsell people like crazy. I'm like, hey, I know Christmas, the holidays are coming up. We want to make sure it makes sense around the holidays, around birthdays, year round. God forbid something happens. This is a bill that still has to be on the table. We can't take this away before we take away the cable. We have to take care of the cable, take the cable away before we take care of the life insurance away, because at the end of the day, this is so important. And you just told me why it's so important to you. And also, it'd be weird if you filled out this request for information and we didn't do something here today. That's how I kind of word it to people.
So do you say that right there at the end?
Oh, yeah.
It's weird if say that again.
I say, yeah. So I got definitely the boldness, I think, from Easton and a couple other guys on our team, especially Jake Conan. I just say, hey guys, you've filled this form out. You obviously have been thinking about life insurance for a period of time, right? And so it'd just be really weird if I left here today without putting something in place after you just told me you've been thinking about it for the past 2-3 months. You have all the time in the world to think about it after we do this, but I just got to make sure we have that bare minimum coverage that you need here today, just in case something happens overnight, right? And I'll be honest, I did let people think about it at first. Probably my first 2 weeks in the field, all the sales I had that first 2 weeks were definitely lay downs, checks on the forehead. And I gave people permission to think about it. And this is a story that anyone should share. I followed up with two clients, not clients, but prospective clients, an older couple. It was my second appointment and my first ever financial inventory I ever went through. I was going to be back up in their area, followed up with them. He was 79, she was 76. He had been diagnosed with COVID, was in the hospital, on a hospital bed. They actually ended up diagnosing him also with pneumonia, right? And so, as you know, medical wise, insurance companies aren't going to like that. I took that to heart and said, hey, I'm not going to let this happen to anybody else. And so I'm kind of letting people know, like, hey, we're submitting an application. We're going through the eligibility. I'm going to make sure that we find something that makes sense every single month going forward for you guys. And if you guys aren't down for that, that's cool. I'm just going to have you sign this decline form, because I don't want to be the one that's held responsible. God forbid something does happen. So
that's strong, dude. So you're making them make a decision every time.
Yeah.
And how much, so doing that exact process, once you put that in, how much have you noticed that it's improved your close rate and or taken away indecision altogether? And one way or another, we're doing what we need to do.
Right. Yeah. So I would say it's an absolute game changer as far as putting policies in place. Because again, I talk about a lot of things in the home. They say a lot of stuff. I really let them kind of tell me why they need the coverage. But with kind of the way you use your words and letting them know, hey, it's a bare minimum that we have to do here today. Number one, they know right then and there I'm not overselling them. More than anything, I think too, and they feel comfortable with that. Hey, if we want to start with $40 a month and we want to do half the mortgage and we want to increase it later on, that's all good with me. Again, I just got to make sure we put the bare minimum coverage in place. I would say probably it's increased. Sales probably at least 50%, because at the end of the day, if you have someone, hey, I got to think about it, that objection, you move it right to the side, jump right over it. Hey, totally get you got to think about it. I'm just required to get you the bare minimum coverage you need here today. Dude, it's a game changer. it's a game changer. So,
and then the other thing you're doing there is you're taking it off of you. I'm required.
yep.
They require me, right? Like, so I think that's one thing that new agents, they tend to forget, right? They're pushing, like I hear a lot of agents, and tell me if you hear this too, but I hear agents when they're starting, they're like, well, I need to make sure you get this. Well, it's not what you need. It's what you're required to do, right? Like I'm required by the state, is, you kind of like, that's who's they. It's they, right? But
Yeah.
but they require me, and no one ever asks who that is. But it's, hey, I'm required to get you the bare minimum coverage. You're taking it off of you, and so that way the person can just really focus on themselves and their family and make that right decision. So that's super strong,
Yep.
man. I'm going to incorporate that into my business. To be completely honest with you, I don't do that. So thank you.
It's all good. I got it all from the people I get to work with, so I appreciate it. So.
Well, you're working with studs. I mean, Jake, your Hall of Famers, like they're crushing it. So, I mean, that's probably why you're crushing it. All right. So let's talk about this, man. So you're running, you did 40K your first month.
Yep.
Is this month 3?
This will be month 4. This will be month 4 for me.
So you had some personal stuff. I know you shared with me that you were going through, so you kind of had to take some time personally, and now you've been back. And so this past weekend, let's talk to us about this past weekend, right? Because that's how you and I connected. Like I seen something that said, I did 50K this weekend, and I'm like, what? Like, well, hold on, what did you just do? And so, 50K in a weekend is nothing to sneeze at. Those are big numbers, right? And 50K in a month's great.
Yep.
So break it down what 50K in a weekend looked like. How many appointments? What were you running? Like, just give us a feel for where you went. Like, let's let the audience know.
Yeah. Can I back up real quick though to the kind of those couple months real quick that was kind of in between? Is that cool? Okay.
100%. It's all you.
Okay, perfect. So I would say this is something that's kind of on more of a personal note, but I'm super excited to kind of share this because I think that anyone can do this and anybody can have this capability. Is the nice thing about this company is with Family First Life, we're free. We have a lot of freedom, right? You're able to work as much as you want. I tell people you kind of can control your income essentially. If you want to work in around 5-6 days a week, do it. If you only want to do it part-time just to make an extra $5,000, I mean, $5,000 is $5,000. I don't care who you are, right? And so I will tell you this. So my first month I did 43,000. There was kind of an in-between stuff going on health-wise with my family. And I'll share that. Another reason I'm sharing this is because this can happen to anybody, and you can do this for your family too, is what that kind of time in between, I was able to run some appointments, still produce some income, so write some insurance and help some families out. But what FFL has given me the ability to do, and I'm truly like honored and super blessed to be able to say this, is it's been able to allow me to give back to like my family and help them with medical bills, put some insurance coverage in place. Otherwise they probably wouldn't have. And so as far as kind of how it can kind of change your trajectory of your income, but also your family and the legacy and that you can leave behind, I truly think it's like, no, there's nowhere better to be able to do that. And, when I think back to my why is wanting to be able to let my parents live life because they worked hard all their life for me, me and my brother. And so if you can kind of put, anything personal, like about me aside and know kind of what you're doing this for, you're out there serving families, helping people, put coverage in place, but also at the same time, you're helping your family too, because you're putting food on the table. I was able to put, before stuff happened health-wise with my dad, I was able to put $180,000 of death benefit coverage in place for my dad, because of the ability to earn a good income here at Family First Life. And so I'm super honored and blessed to be able to say that. And so that's kind of between the 2 months of that kind of stuff, going through some health stuff with my dad. Again, this is kind of off track there, Julius, but I would say there's no better opportunity in the entire country. And I'm not trying to sell you. Julius did not try to tell me to sell this to you guys. But truly, if you're trying to make a long lasting impact on your family, like it's been amazing what I've been able to help do with my parents. So anyways, now going forward, Julius, so this last weekend, I was running mortgage mailers in 1 month and 3 month internet leads.
So hang on.
Yeah.
We can't just breeze over that. You can't just go like, all right, so this weekend, you can't share all your why and just like, but anyway, that's not how it works, bro.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But dude, that's that's incredible. Because just a few short months ago, you didn't even know about us.
Right.
And in, a few months, it's been able, the company has been able to have a huge impact in your life. And that's a big deal. Right. And so, it's pretty cool to see like what we're doing is not just a paycheck, right? Like, I think that gets glazed over a lot because we promote how much we earn here because that's kind of like our recruiting tool. Like, hey, we make a lot of money. But the reality, guys, and for everybody listening, is we probably have more impact in more ways than just income here, just like you heard from Michael. And so, dude, man, first off, it's amazing what you've been able to do to help your family. And I'm honored to be in business with you. And I love that you shared your why, because I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Because, I mean, let's face it, man, we're all here for a reason. We're all here to help someone some way, shape, or form. And so you being able to do that for your family is pretty big, man. So
I appreciate it. And and I hope that, that was okay to share and stuff, but I think
absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right. So talk to us now about the weekend.
Yeah. So it was a good weekend. So I'll tell you that, and I'll kind of go through. So dial days for me, is it cool if I kind of lead with the dial days and kind of how I set up my weekends? Is that cool?
That'd be perfect. So
Okay,
where'd you run?
Yep.
When did you buy plane tickets, hotel? Like, just kind of walk us through. All right, I planned this. I wanted to do this. Here's how many leads. Here's my dials.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
Right on. Perfect. And so I'm originally from Nebraska. Grew up on a horse ranch there. Decided actually about a month and a half ago I was going to move. I live in Minneapolis now, so I've been up here for just over a month. And so I ran locally here in Minneapolis. I was running mortgage mailers in 1 month and 3 month internet leads. Total for the weekend, I think I spent about $1,700 on leads for the weekend. And again, that was a combination of 1 month and 3 month internet leads and some new mortgage mailers. But I'll tell you, I mean, every single dial day is the same for me. As far as my structure, I don't waver in that at all. I'm committed to being on the phones and being on Zoom at 7:30 every single morning.
So do you, on your dial days, do you go and process applications? Do you, check on pending business, submit applications? Do you do all this other stuff, or do you just dial on dial days?
Dude, I just dial on dial days. Okay. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, dial days are for dialing. Dial days are to set up your weekend. Again, I think that you purchase your income when you purchase leads. Dial days are money day. That's payday for me, right? And I know you guys are huge believers in that too. But I literally will sit on Zoom from 7:30 in the morning until 8:30 at night if I have to. And I've done it countless times. If you're not on a Zoom dial session or you're not in an office, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. Because I think you got to find yourself a group of like-minded people who are willing to put in the hours. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, reality is I ran 17 appointments this weekend. Just so happened that a lot of people wanted to buy a lot of insurance, right? And so how can I expect to, make the income that I made from this weekend alone if I'm not willing to work my tail off, right? And so setting the expectation, not for others, but for myself, like, hey, I'm going to be on Zoom at 7:30. I'm going to dial until I hit my appointments. And then the rest is going to take care of itself. There's going to be the 25%, like Sean Mike says, of the checks on their forehead. There's going to be the other 25 to 50% that you have to kind of bring along, kind of explain the process, kind of handhold them. And I'll handhold people all day long. If it takes that, that's what they need, because they need to see the value, right? If someone's going to give you their social security, they're going to give you their checkbook, they're going to give you their account number and routing number. Number one, they need to trust you. Number two, it has to make sense, the coverage that you're putting in place. Number three, it has to make sense financially too. And what do all three of those things mean? They have to trust you, right? And so that's kind of the thing. And I'll break it down. So dial days, like I said, 7:30 until whenever I stop. But I dialed that day from 7:30 probably until about 6:30. Had 17 appointments on the books. If I'm going to run what I call power weekend, I don't know if you guys kind of talk about that stuff at all. Okay. So power weekend for me, like this weekend will probably be 20 to 24 appointments. This weekend is what I'll kind of shoot for.
What is the power weekend?
Yeah, for sure. So for example, this weekend, I'm going down to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then Sioux City, Iowa. I have some mortgage mailers locked out there. And I think I probably got 35 to 40 new mailers that I haven't dialed yet there. So power weekend for me is I'm going to try to run, like I said, between 20 to 24 appointments. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff out there. If you want to pick it apart, Julius, pick it apart for me. But I'm running as many appointments as I can because I need to give myself the at-bats. I need to give myself the swings, things like that. But I'm not only running as many appointments as I can, I'm running as many quality appointments as I can. When I first got into this, I was trying to run 40 appointments, 50 appointments a week. And I talked to Easton, who's phenomenal at this, about structure and schedule. Is we broke it down and saying, hey, run 8 to 9 really quality appointments every single day, book them on the hour 15, gives you enough time to be thorough, give explanations, help people in the home rather than rush into the next appointment. And so what is a power weekend? Power weekend for me. So tomorrow, I think I have right now 13 appointments so far for the weekend scheduled. And what I do is I keep my Friday mornings open until about 11:30. The reason being, I dial for Friday afternoon and Friday evening on Thursdays. I dial for Saturday, get as many as I can Saturday. But at the end of the day, if you can fill up your whole Saturday schedule, great. If you can't, no problem at all, because I now have time open and available for about 3.5, 4 hours on Friday morning. Okay. And so tomorrow morning, I'll drive to where my appointments are going to be. I'll get there bright and early, probably sit in my car, have a cup of coffee, and dial for 3.5, 4 hours, because that's when I fill my Sunday and any parts of my Saturdays that are still open. So to me, if I can run 20 to 24 really good, high quality appointments, that's a power weekend right there. And the way I look at it too, like I said earlier with Sean Mike saying, at the end of the day, you're going to close 25% no matter what. If I have 24 appointments scheduled, I might sit with 18 to 20 of them. I'm going to write 5 to 6 applications. In my opinion, that would just be really weird if I didn't. And I would have to mess something up, right? Does that make sense? Is that kind of helpful?
Yeah, that's super helpful. So you're dialing Thursday to fill up Friday, parts of Saturday, dialing Friday morning to fill up the rest of Saturday, all of Sunday.
Correct.
And then you run 3 straight days, basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You
now, you're going into a new territory, you may have some mailers, but then you're filling up with, is it just aged mortgage? Or are you doing aged internet leads as well?
Yep.
Combination of the two?
Combination of the two. So I bought 100 1 month and 3 months just last night. Always buy your leads the night before. I learned that the hard way. I'm sure Julius preaches that. It's like preaching to the choir, but yeah, so I'm dialing through about 100 1 month and 3 months also. And I use Phone Burner. I'm not putting a plug in for Phone Burner. They didn't tell me to do this, but if you're not using it, it's a game changer.
Right? Isn't it? It's like how
crazy.
Dude, I don't get it. Yeah.
Dude, I hand dialed internet leads for the first like month, and I was like, what in the world am I doing?
Yeah. You got to learn the hard way, dude. We didn't have Phone Burner till sometime last year, I want to say. So just punch it, man. That's how you gotta bust through it. So, all right, cool. So of those, so you had how many appointments this past weekend?
Yeah, so this past weekend I had 17 appointments. I only ran Friday, Saturday, so I didn't run a power weekend because I was staying locally. Not by any design, I just wanted to hang out on Sunday, I guess. But at the end of the day, I ran 17 appointments. I think I submitted 16 applications. Like I said, there were some people that wanted to buy a ton of insurance. Just so happened I was fortunate to help out the 78 and 75-year-old couple. That was a 1 month internet lead, and it was pretty heavy premium for that couple. So that was literally off. I spent $4, and I think my return I made 24 grand.
One lead. That's money, dude. That's money. All right. So listen, let's we want to be respectful of your time, man. So you told us a little bit about what you're doing, where you're running, how you kind of structure it. What other tips or advice would you give for agents in the home, right? So you talked to us a little bit about how you take the indecision away in the beginning, you set the table. What other advice, sales tips, word tracks that you can share with the team to kind of close this out, so that way they can use it this weekend and hopefully make some more money from it?
100%, dude. So everything, and I'll tell you this too. The cool thing is I was just texting a friend of mine saying, hey, tonight when I get home, I got to watch more YouTube videos, because at the end of the day, what I use is literally from Julius, from Grady, from Andrew Taylor, from Sean Mike, from Zach Twardowski, Jake Cohn, and Easton Patton, etc. Like, it's everybody. You just make it your own. Don't try to repeat anybody exactly word for word, because it's not going to come out genuine, I think. So take little bits from everybody, right? And kind of make it your own. And so word tracks in the home, what I would say is be very assumptive. Be very assumptive. And that all comes back to, it'd be really weird, Julius, if I didn't help you and your wife here with this insurance, because you just told me that you guys really need it, right? And so be very assumptive, number one. Number two, let them know that you are required to submit the bare minimum coverage that they need. God forbid something happens overnight or happens today, right? It's not tomorrow. It's not a week from now. It is tonight or today, right? And so letting them know those kind of things. Another key word phrase and kind of line that I think is an absolute game changer. You're going to run into situations where people have a pretty large budget. You're going to run into situations where it's really tight. Kind of maneuvering money around, being, hey, again, at the end of the day, you told me you really need this. You said, Julius, you said your wife would have to sell the house God forbid something happens to you, and take the kids and try to figure out where to go next, right? And so letting them know, again, you're submitting the bare minimum coverage, but this is the game changer. And I'm going back to this right here. You're going to run into a lot of folks, like I said, that have some large paychecks and some that don't. But when you run into somebody that has a substantial income and their what I call debt to income is strong, I say, hey, Julius, good news is your debt to income ratio is so strong that there's probably going to be nothing I can't show you here today that you couldn't qualify from a budget standpoint. Would you agree? Yep, got it. Okay, cool. Right then and there, I'm giving myself permission to show them any number I want. Any number I want, because at the end of the day, I have then built them up and I kind of use psychology a little bit. I have then built them up to the point where like, hey, dude, I can literally afford anything you're going to show me. So just show me a number. Just show me a number already. Situations like that, I show one number and one number only.
So say that line one more time, please.
Yep. So Julius, going through, after we went through this financial inventory, we got to make sure you can qualify from a health standpoint. But the good news is from a budget standpoint, you have such a high debt to income ratio that there's literally going to be nothing I could show you here today that you would not be able to qualify from a budget standpoint. Do you agree? Okay. So right then and there, and I show one number and one number only in that situation, because I say, hey, Julius, I'm going to show you a number. If you don't think it makes sense, you let me know and we can always tone that back a little bit. But if you agree, then that's what we're going to submit the request for here today. Is that fair? Perfect. Okay.
And so when you do it that way with that type of client, what's your, like, they just are like, okay, that works. Like, what is, because I don't do that. So I'm just trying to understand, like, I'm always showing 3 options regardless. So this is new.
Yeah. So it's worked. There's definitely times where I don't think there's ever been a time, like, knock on wood, but there's never been a time that I haven't made a sale. I have had to tone it back a little bit, but at the end of the day, if you're showing them a number that they can qualify for from a budget standpoint, and there's kind of additional cash flow and things like that, they're either going to say yes or no. If they say no, that's no problem at all. What were you kind of looking for to keep it in? What range were you looking for? Right. And so the reason why I have them agree from a budget standpoint, they can probably afford anything, is because I'm giving myself permission to stack a bunch of things on top of each other, max out a bunch of policies, things like that. Does that make sense?
Got it. So that's how you're writing bigger premiums, because you're showing more, because you got permission to do that before you. Right. And a lot of times when you don't get the permission, you could be afraid of doing it, or in your own head. I know I've done that. So,
yep.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. All right, cool. Dude, this is gold. Guys, if you're getting value out of this, drop a MH in the chat. Show Michael some love. He's spitting some fire today. He's definitely sharing some really good information with us. So, man, this is solid, dude. There's no doubt in my mind. I see why you're performing at such a high level, man. There's some things that you do on the the phone side to book the appointment, but then B, in the home to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to just help the client, right? And so that's solid, man. Anything you want to close out with us for today?
No, dude. I think the biggest thing is too, and I've had the chance to kind of, a lot of people have kind of reached out recently and stuff like that. And I'm very honored and blessed that, I have the opportunity to kind of share, and I'm really happy to be able to do so with you guys today. Is people, I would say, don't focus on selling, focus on providing value. At the end of the day, if someone feels like they're being sold, they're going to have to think about it because they feel pressure. If you're providing value, like I said, it just goes back to it'd be really weird if they said no, if you're providing value and getting them coverage that they know they need, right? And so, dude, I'm stoked. I'm glad to be a part of this organization. Julius, it's a pleasure to actually get to meet you and chat with you a little bit, my friend. Dude, it's going to be fun. It's been a lot of fun. So,
Michael, it's been an honor. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for blessing us and sharing all your knowledge and what you've been able to accomplish. And dude, I look forward to meeting you. You're coming to the Arizona convention, right?
I'll be there, and I'm sure a bunch of people on your team will be there. Yeah, I'm excited to meet you and a bunch of other folks. So, dude, I will definitely be there.
I can't wait to meet you. Hey, what would you say to the person thinking to themselves, I don't know if I should go to the convention in Arizona on November 15th?
I mean, I think that if you're thinking, but you don't know if you should go, look at the lineup of people. Think about how many people's lives they've been able to impact and how much they've been able to impact their own personal lives. Like, again, it'd just be weird if you didn't go, right? And so at the end of the day, I mean, they call it, what is it, kind of the launch to annual convention. dude, in my mind, this is annual convention. Like, that's how important this is to be there. So, I think you'd be missing out and doing yourself truly a disservice if you're not going to be there and surround yourself with the top producers. Obviously, if you can afford it financially, but if you can't afford it financially now, go buy some leads, talk to Julius, give me a call. Let's figure out a way to make sure you can get there. If it's questions in the home, dude, I mean, I'm the kind of person, if you need help, I'm happy to help anyway. So.
Well, thanks, Michael. Hey, the same thing to you, man. If there's anything I could do to ever help you, any of your team, hey, dude, the door's always open. Give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever. But I do look forward to meeting you, man.
Absolutely, dude. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it a bunch.
Thanks for jumping on, guys.
Yeah, dude. Take care.
So thankful for you guys joining us. Hope you guys got some value out of today's episode. Michael's a beast. And guys, let's go out there. Let's crush your dials. You guys heard it from him. Protect your dial time. Dial till the job is done. Don't stop dialing once you hit 10. Don't be satisfied with where you're at. That other family needs your help. Keep dialing till the job is done. Today is where you make your money. If you don't book enough appointments, you are not going to make as much money as you'd like on Saturday and Friday. I promise you. So if you guys need anything, hit me up. Otherwise, God bless. Until next week, take care.